Yeah, it seemed like a whole lot of penalties early on. Is that a concern for you? You feel like you had trouble getting the team going, getting in the right frame of mind? Were they anxious coming in?
I think, a couple of them were just, I guess, aggressive penalties. We got a rough pass call. I hadn't seen it on film. I'd like to see it on film. I got that one. That was a drive keeper there. Interference call, I'm not so sure about that one. But
you had an interception, early interception by Dell.
Yeah, that got back. Yeah. So that's not good things, but we could overcome. I'm proud of them.
Tyler Hargrove had a great defensive performance. Can we talk about that?
Tyler's had 5 great games in a row. He's been playing great. He's the kind of guy you have to have out there to make plays. He made plays against Stevens. He made plays tonight. He made plays last week. He's gotten very, very consistent.
So he's found his niche at defensive end.
He has. He played a little bit there last year, and he'd make some plays and he'd give up some plays. But he's gotten a lot smarter and a lot better. He's done well, very well.
I probably asked you this already, but how's it sunk in yet that you guys have done this? What you've been setting for all year?
It's starting to. It's starting to. I didn't think about it until after the game here. I thought, wow, it's 10-0. I never thought that would happen.
3 field goals for Moeller tonight, 13 on the season. I mean, have you had a better season from the kicker?
No, he's done a great job. He's consistent, and we have confidence in him.
Wasn't he a kid who hadn't kicked before until like last year?
Yeah, last year.
Kind of joined you in the middle of the year.
Yeah, he came out the Monday before we played Hampton. Of course, he couldn't play against Hampton because he hadn't been around enough days. And he came out and he said he wanted to try, and I looked at him. He put one up on the tee and kicked it, and that thing exploded off his foot. I said, "You're hired."
Brilliant move. Did you come into this game thinking you could be as effective as you were with Moore up the middle, just running fullback?
We've been talking about doing that a little bit and having Laster play at the halfback position some, and that was part of the game plan today. I didn't expect it to stay with it as much as I did, but he was having such a great day, we had to keep with it.
Looking ahead a little bit, is this the best defense you're taking into the postseason?
They're pretty good. I don't know if
you guys haven't given up more than 14 points in 6-7 weeks.
Well, except this tonight, we gave up 20 tonight.
Last minute slop there.
Yeah, but it's one of the better groups we've had, no question.
Now, looking ahead to next week, there's a possibility of facing Bayside again this time in the first round. Does that play any significant role at this point? You just enjoying the...
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, no matter who we play, they're going to be good. I think the parity in Division 6 is just unparalleled. It's never been this much parity. It's always been, 6-4 teams sneaking in there. You're talking about 8-2 or better. There's no bad teams. And I'm not sure the seeding makes the difference other than being home team.
Possibly we may get them again.
Yeah, I really don't want that.
I'm sure you don't.
Has the parity of the Peninsula District helped prepare you for that this year?
I think so.
A ton of close games.
I think so. I think having been those close games has benefited us, and hopefully will continue to benefit us.
I read in the paper this morning that you guys were the least penalized team in the Peninsula District.
I don't know who wrote that.
I don't know, some idiot. And
then what
first
happened?
quarter, they're flying left and right.
I was thinking of you when
sure you were.
And then we fumbled later on.
Exactly.
I thought, gosh, Dave's killing us here.
But you cleaned it up after that. I don't think. Did you have a penalty in the second half? I don't recall one. Maybe you did, but
I don't remember.
Yeah, but what'd you do? Any adjustments? Or?
The kids, I think early on were a little excited. We got that roughing the passing penalty. Was I hadn't seen the whole film. I like to see it, but then we got called for interference, and I didn't think so. But that's don't put that in the paper. I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, you really need that now. And how important was that last drive at the end of the first half and the field goal you got, and then to come back in the third quarter?
That was incredible. To get down there and be able to kick a field goal there right when time ended. That was big because that puts us only down by 1. Allows us to, I guess, have a 16-point, or I guess it was a 16-point cushion before that last touchdown.